earlier this month, there was a debate that took over social media by storm. The debate, would women rather be alone in the woods with a man or a bear? And there it is right there from CNN. This is the article from earlier this month. Man or bear, a viral question has spawned sorry responses.
They all chose the bear.
Scary? What did I say?
Sorry.
Well, they should be sorry because most of the women ended up choosing the bear. According to the article, while there is no unanimous answer, if you could show this graphic right here, Andres, a good number of women on TikTok, Instagram, and X have made it clear that they prefer the bear over the man. This is reality. We're living in a world where women would rather be alone with an animal that wants to eat it than to be alone with a dude in the woods. In fact, a TikTok video that has been viewed more than 16.7 million times features a man interviewing 8 women on the street asking whether or not they'd rather be stuck in a forest with a man or with a bear. Take a look at what these women had to say.
These women.
That's a woman.
Bear. Man is scary.
With a bear.
Well, I've heard about bears. They don't always attack you, right? Unless you like fuck with them. So maybe a bear.
Depends what man, but probably a bear.
Oh, 100% a bear, which is like terrifying to say, but
Definitely a bear. Some men are very scary out there.
a bear.
I would say a man.
One of those women made sense.
No, can
the
we-
rest chose bear. It's never gonna be the bear.
Can we go to the follow-up video to see what the conventionally attractive women had to say about this subject?
Well, I want to go around. First of all, obviously, this is a dumb, stupid debate. Nobody, if you were actually in that position, I guarantee if a woman found herself out in the woods and a bear was there, you know what she'd probably be going? I hope a man is nearby to protect me. That's the reality of the situation. My wife and I go camping. She's alone and a bear comes across. First of all, I'm screaming, so I'm not going to be helpful. But I doubt she would rather be alone in the woods with a bear than me. Kelly, you're the only woman on the podcast, unless I'm assuming genders. I guess I am.
Assume away.
Assume away. Kelly, as the only female on the panel, your response to the man versus bear debate, which would you rather be alone in the woods with? Would you rather be alone with a bear or with a man?
Man. But so when I didn't know that this was the question that I saw on social media was, as a woman, would you rather be alone in the woods with a rapist or a bear? And that question, I for sure said a bear. But
that's a good one.
That was the question that I saw. That's what I thought this story was. So it's so interesting to me that all those women said bear or man. And I have to tell you guys, like, women are kind of afraid of men attacking them. There's a history for that. You know, that's what society is, you know, and you can easily overpower us just like the bear can.
You know what else has a long history of attacking us?
Any type of wildlife.
I think there's a disconnect though between how strong a bear is compared to a man, because like, you know, it's somewhat like it's like a 70-30 odds of a woman versus a man. You know, you could poke him in the eye, him in the nuts, whatever, and like him and stab him with a stick, and then you're
you could do the same thing to a bear.
A bear can kill 10 people. You know, people. I guess women are underestimating how strong a bear actually is. It's like a killing machine.
Well, so again, I would, in this question, bear versus man, I would choose a man. I can handle a man, but I cannot handle a bear. If it was rapist versus bear, I would choose the bear because I would rather die a very painful Revenant movie. Leonardo DiCaprio,
I was just thinking
almost death. Yeah, I've seen that movie and I've seen that scene. I'm prepared for that, but I'm not prepared to be violated.
And to be fair, odds are you could probably scare off a bear much easier than you could scare off a rapist. Assuming you didn't surprise, an angry grizzly with cubs. You can chase him off if you're making enough noise and everything.
I was going to say, Rob, your screaming would actually come in handy. So that would be good.
Well, not according, and we'll get to it. They actually give tips for what you do if you ever encounter a bear in the wilderness. I've never seen a list of what to do in case you encounter a man in the woods. But bear? Yeah, get the fuck away from it.
My dad used to take us camping when we were kids, and one of the first pieces of camping advice he ever taught us was, you don't have to be faster than the bear. You just have to be faster than the guy you're with.
Exactly.
Well, hopefully you're faster than the rapists that are hiding in the woods that Kelly's worried about. Because
that was the question on social media.
Well, is this, and I hate to be one of those conspiratorial guys, is this part of a bigger movement to brand men as dangerous?
Probably.
Is that what this is? Is it we have to? We're already in a phase where we're seeing the demasculinization. Did I get that out right? Demasculinization.
Yeah, demasculizing.
Of men. Yeah. Are we? What is this now? The villainizing further of men in society.
It's definitely gender war. I think gender war is the right way to say it, because I don't think it's just anti-maleness that people are promoting. It's also anti-femaleness. You see it all over Twitter, and I think they want both parties to be at war with each other so that people are driven apart, just like they want people to be driven apart in all dimensions of society.
Well, and you see that when it comes to women, when it comes to gender, look at how they have the war on women has taken over sports, right? The women's sports are no longer for women. They're for anybody that identifies as a woman to participate. They've even taken away the term mother and replaced it with birthing persons to be more inclusive. Then you look at men who the movement of men having babies and men breastfeeding. There is this weird movement where they try and remove women's roles in society at the same time that they're trying to villainize men.
There's also the men go their own way movement, which I don't know if it's still popular. It's kind of been eclipsed by the red pill movement, but that was a movement where men were just choosing to not enter into relationships with women and possibly have as little sexual contact with them as possible. And this was serious, and they were like doing this on purpose. Well, at least they were claiming to be voluntarily doing this and not involuntarily doing this, but so that's more of that, where it's like, I don't, the other sex should not even be interacted with. They're beyond the point, and I think this is the female version of that.
But hey, so it's deeper than that, though. Like, it's just like the LGBT stuff. It's not coincidence that all the most powerful people in the world, like Bill Gates, Klaus Schwab, George Soros, they're all constantly advocating for the fact that there's too many people in the world. In their opinion, they want slow population growth and reduce population in the world. So it's just like the LGBT stuff. All roads lead back to them trying to slow population growth.
Connor?
Well, if you want to get right down to it, it's not even some giant sweeping agenda thing, at least in terms of this TikTok trend or whatever. It's not about, these differences between men and women that are being pushed by the deep state or the globalists or whatever. It's more about showing off what everyone thinks about, generally, where women's biggest concern is typically sexual violence or some kind of violence committed against them, almost always by men. Whereas men, it's been a thing for a long time. There was an even earlier TikTok trend years ago of women asking their boyfriends, hey, what animals do you think you could beat in a fight? Like, men think about things like, oh, I could probably take that animal and that animal. I'd definitely lose to a gorilla. Maybe a chimp if I had like a stick or something to fight it off with. So men think about fighting bears. So women don't think about bears. They think about other problems they might have.
So you don't think social media boosted this thing unorganically? Because I do.
I think it definitely boosted it because it saw it was popular, but I don't think they were trying to. It's more a symptom of the conflict between men and women rather than like the new cause, the new thing driving it. Like say it's a big push to make men seem violent. We're long past that. That's been a thing for a long time already. Remember all the discussion of rape culture and like the 2011, 2012 era going on from there. They pushed that forever. Like, this isn't a new thing.
What do you think, Kelly?
When it was the rapist versus bear question, that one's more like equivalent. It's harder, question to ask. So I'm surprised about the man versus bear thing. And I want to know why they all said bear. I do agree that it's probably like society pushing the narrative that, okay, it's men, it's not your turn anymore, it's women's turn. But I also think part of it is that as a society, we kind of also are turning away from like companionship and turning away from like we like to be what's the word, internal people, and like introvert. Not social introvert and like not socialize as much. So like I'd rather like scare off a bear than just be by myself in the woods rather than having to deal with a man and take care of him or have to rely on someone else. So there's probably that independence thing as well. But the answer for that question should be a man, and it's so surprising.
And if there is any debate over it, please pull up this article that was posted just yesterday. This is from The Guardian, May 21st. Grizzly bear seriously injures man in Wyoming National Park. According to the report, a grizzly bear attacked and seriously injured a man in a western Wyoming National Park. That man had to be rescued by rescuers via helicopter. Life flighted out and to an ambulance driven to a nearby hospital. So in case you're wondering, like, ladies, bear? No. Also, I'm going to go lion? No. Shark? alligator,
look at
anything that wants to eat
Look
you.
at the subtitle on
Lions,
that article.
targets, bears
Also
away.
on Sunday in Alaska, a man was killed as he tried to photograph a newborn moose calf when their mother attacked.
Correct.
You're not even safe with the moose, people.
Yeah, the moose calves is what the guy was photographing moose babies, and then the moose mama fucking killed them.
Yeah. People don't realize how big a moose is.
Yeah, so ladies, add that to the things you don't want to be alone in the woods with. Mooses. Mice? Meese? Meese.
The moosin.
Ladies, learn martial arts. You know, that'll give you a huge edge against most guys because most guys can't fight. So if you want to...
Thought you were about to start saying, like, take Kung Fu to fight off a bear.
I do. Yeah, that is true. Are you going to teach him Kung Fu? Well, no, you need a knife to fight off a bear.
Can't you just climb a tree?
Or a gun. No,
Or bears can climb trees?
They're going to win climbing trees.
Yeah, let's get to that.
Tips for us
They
here.
swim, they climb trees, everything.
Oh,
The
shit.
bears are so dangerous that the National Park Service released an article entitled Staying Safe Around Bears, where people ask, hey, if I encounter a bear, what should I do? And according to this article, if you could show the article, it says bears in national parks are wild and can be dangerous. Their behavior, sometimes unpredictable. You know why? They're fucking bears. Attacks on humans have occurred, inflicting serious injuries and death. If you encounter a bear, according to the National Wildlife Service, if you could show the next graphic, here's some bear tips. But again, I've never seen tips what to do if you encounter a man, ever. I've never seen that. But I have seen what to do in case you encounter wildlife that want to eat you.
You need to read Cosmo for the man tips.
No. You connect with me. I'll tell you what to do.
There you go. That's a good call, Kelly. Kelly, if you need advice on what to do when you run into a man, from the National Park Service, identify yourself, remain still, stay calm. Most importantly, don't scream.
Show the graphic. Yeah.
They say don't scream. Pick up small children immediately. Make yourselves look as large as possible. I'm currently working on that.
I'm sorry.
Although I don't think it's wide that they're talking about. They want tall.
The hey bear, hey bear.
Identify yourself.
Yes. Hello, bear.
Hi, I am man.
I use she, her
My women are
pronouns.
afraid of me.
It says pick up small children as if you're like dealing with ants or something.
Hi, bear. I'm Rob Gargiulo. You can connect with me, or you can eat the shit out of me.
Rip my face off.
Don't forget your pronouns.
They say if the bear is stationary, move away slowly and sideways, and do not run. If a bear follows you, you should stop and hold your ground. So, ladies, I don't know why people actually think that this is I brought this conversation to the table because I'm trying to find the funny in things. I'm tired of, we talked about this a lot. You can be outraged and be angry. And if you don't have a solution for the things that you're outraged and angry about, what are you actually contributing to society, right? Like if I could get on here and just start yelling about the deep state, okay, what's the solution to the deep state? I love RFK. I do. I've listened to a lot of his inauguration speech. I've read a lot about his policies. The problem is I don't ever see solutions to things, ever.
And he's a flip-flopper.
Okay, in what scenarios?
Abortion over the past few weeks, he went from you could get abortion all the way up until the end, till now he's backtracking on that. From here, he was saying that he wasn't okay with the gender changes, and then he was started backtracking on that. So it seems like he's going whichever direction the wind's blowing over the past few months.
For me, it felt like he was an outsider in politics, which a lot of people, they like that about Trump in 2016. I felt that way about RFK, but I continue to watch RFK and I continue to not see any solutions presented. We're going to rebuild the American class. The middle class has been destroyed. How are you going to do that?
Yeah.
And I don't hear answers. So the whole reason that I brought this topic, yes, it's lighthearted and silly and fun. I'm trying to find where we can find the funny in things, because I feel like if we're not able to laugh every once in a while and it's just dark news all the time, it becomes very depressing. And if that's the case, how do we ever get out of this?
Yeah.
How do we ever, we need to start having conversations that we can enjoy and laugh at. And then hopefully we can have conversations that are dark, but we can find the laughter in those things and more people can enjoy those conversations. And maybe that's how we get to a point where we start solving problems rather than just highlighting problems.
You know what Trump, Biden, and RFK all have in common? They're all men.
Oh,
Vote Bear 2024.
I am voting Bear
100% of the women vote
2024.
goes
See, the true danger lies in what happens when the men and the bears team up, because then we'll be unstoppable. And
So we
there'll be
just
no
gotta
one
train
in the
Yeah,
game.
have you ever seen, they trained bears in the circus? They would nail their feet to the pedals of bikes and then whip them as the bears would ride around until the bear went, wait a minute, I'm way bigger than the guy with the
What the
whip.
hell?
I'll just eat them. And then they stopped doing that in the circus.
Would any of you say, if you had to choose between a woman and a bear, would any of you choose the bear?
Does the bear nag?
Yeah. I mean, what kind of woman?
That's the question. If the bear's like, hey, I need $3,000 so I can hire this holistic healer, then no, I don't need the bear. But if the bear's not doing that, then yeah, I'm all
Honestly,
game
the
with the bear.
female bears can be more aggressive than the male ones.
Yeah, they're
But they say stay away from bears.
That's even worse.
If they have bear cubs around them, those are the worst ones to be around.
Mom rage.
All right, one other question before we move on. Okay, Kelly brought up that somebody brought up about what animals could you beat up. So hypothetically, is there an animal that you could beat up? Brandon, I have a feeling you've thought about this a lot. Like I feel like as you're going through the zoo, you're just sizing up giraffes, going, I could take that motherfucker.
Yeah.
What animal do you think you could take, and what animal could you definitely not take?
I think a kangaroo is one that'd be close. I think anything.
You could take a kangaroo.
I think that would be a
So
close.
you box a kangaroo.
Yeah, close. That
Okay.
one's close. Anything under a kangaroo I could take, but anything over a kangaroo cannot take. So I'm not dumb enough to think.
Lions, tigers,
Yeah,
bears.
no, nothing like that. Nothing above the kangaroo weight class.
Okay, see, I go anything slow moving I could take. So turtle,
Sloth.
yeah, watch out. Okay, I didn't need you to jump in.
What's a turtle gonna do
Well,
to
I
you?
love turtles, but my son had them for like 3 years, and we just like after 3 years, like, what do we do with these things? They're just there. They're in a tank.
They can live a long time.
I know. Oh, I know. We had to find a home for them because I told my wife, I'm like, can't we just release them in the sea? And she's like, no, it doesn't work. So I could definitely take a turtle. Anything above a turtle, probably can't take. Shane?
My Irish father always told me that I should tap into my ancient Celtic psychotic rage if I ever am in a situation like that. So I would try to tap into some picked energy there, and I don't know what that could do. So I've had to do it maybe a couple of times, but I don't know. I mostly don't think about this question, to be honest. When Connor said like men think about fighting animals, I'm like, I think about fighting other men, but I don't really think about fighting other animals.
Okay, Connor, you're
Or
the
when
one
you
that brought
drink
that up.
9 pints and go smack a wolf.
Yeah.
No, I definitely lose to just about any of the great apes. So that's like gorillas, orangutans, chimpanzees.
Oh, gosh.
That, like their psycho strength would kill me in a heartbeat. Like Brandon, I think I could at least get in 1 or 2 punches on a kangaroo if I could dodge the claws. Any predatory thing would just wreck me immediately. We're not equipped to fight those. That's why we invented things that got us away from them. I feel like I'd probably do okay against a horse if it came to it.
Oh no,
Wow.
you wish.
If I could dodge the
You
hooves, I
wish.
think I
Weapon.
could just right around the front. I feel like I could punch a horse a couple times.
I could be like Christy Nome too. I could probably take out a puppy. Like I could definitely manhandle a puppy. I don't want to. I love my dog, but I could definitely.
Well,
take out a
I've
puppy.
been bitten by a dog on my face, and I have a scar, so I can't even handle a dog.
See, if Christy Nome was in your position,
She would have saved me a shot of
put
the dog.
down.
All right, let's
Take the
move
puppy
on.
out to the gravel pit, you coward.
Fantastic. Thank you guys for participating in that nonsense. Let's move on.